Hi everybody, this is my review video on the M2T handlebar, and I'm going to be comparing it to the Graston technique handlebar. I'm going to be discussing a few topics. So the build quality and design, the weight, the portability, ease of use, versatility. I'm going to wrap it all together at the end to make an overall review, so an overall decision on which one I think is the best. To preface this completely, I am a Graston certified therapist, so I've taken the Graston course and I've purchased the Graston tools. So I purchased the 6 instruments. The handlebar comes with the 6 instruments, so you cannot just go and purchase the handlebar. You have to actually get Graston certified and then purchase the tools through them. To start out, we're going to focus on build quality and design. So let's start out with the Graston. It's a very, very well balanced tool. There's a good weight to it. Surgical grade stainless steel. The reason why there's surgical grade stainless steel is so that there are less pores in the metal, so it's easier to keep clean. Another reason why they use stainless steel is for the reverberation effect into the tool, into your hands. When you start scanning and treating, you can actually feel where the adhesions are in the tissue. So that's a huge plus to using this type of material. So build quality and design wise, the Graston did an excellent job. It is technically considered the gold standard of instruments. Instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization today is often referred to as Graston. So it's practically what's called like a household name for instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. So it's more of like a buzzword for the therapy and client world. So a lot more people will know what it is because of the Graston name. As far as the quality of the design, there are no flaws with this to me. So there's only one angle to the instrument, and you use that to treat. So you can only go in one direction. If you want to push away from you, you have to hold the tool like this, and you have to flip it around and pull towards you if you want that treatment edge to work going towards you. So you always have to flip the tool around depending on which way you're treating. That is the Graston tool. Now, the M2T handlebar differs in a lot of ways for design. It's a slightly different shape. The biggest thing I noticed right out of the packaging was the difference between the actual handles themselves on the ends of the tools, here and here. So you can tell that they look different. So there's a bigger angle on this M2T tool, where the Graston it's more of a larger angle, so it's less of a steep angle. The steeper angle in this tool actually feels a lot better in the hands. It's surprising. I looked at the tool and was like, oh, that's a steep angle. But no, I grabbed the tool and I was like, wow, this is very comfortable in my hands. On top of that, you can see it is actually thickened on the handles. So the handles are actually thicker on the M2T one because a lot of people who use these instruments, they get a lot of emollient or gel on the tool and it slips. So this is probably designed for grip. I feel the grip is much better with this instrument, and it's in a hexagonal pattern. The design was intended for more ergonomic use. The design was intended for more ergonomic use and easier use. So I think it goes to the M2T because it looks like there's a lot more thought put into this, and that stands out to me between the two. So I give the point for build quality and design to the M2T. So moving on to weight. They're very similar in weight, however the M2T is slightly lighter. The fact that a tool is lighter doesn't necessarily mean it's better. However, for me personally, in my preferences, I like a lighter tool because it's lighter in my hands and I feel as if I'm doing less work. Having actually used this tool, the lightweight makes me feel more accurate with my strokes and actually where I'm feeling it, and actually the handles themselves are actually hollow. So I think that might contribute to a lot of the reverberation I feel most with this tool. So I'm a Graston trained therapist and I've used all kinds of different tools. I have the Myobar Graston toolkit. It's called the G Plus series. That one's great as well. However, as far as handlebars go, these are my two favorite handlebars. So as far as weight goes, yes, this one is lighter. The M2T is lighter than the Graston. So for me, I like a lighter tool. I can feel more of what I'm doing with the instrument, if that makes sense. I feel I'm more accurate with my strokes and I feel like I'm providing more of an effective treatment with it. So it's just a slight advantage, but I do give it to the M2T for that as well. So moving on, portability is a big thing for some therapists who travel to their clients or like to have just the option for portability. Me personally, I have a clinic and I don't really travel very much, but if I wanted to travel, yes, again, lighter instrument, easier to travel with. So ease of use, if you're just starting out with this technique or if you're planning on getting certified with this, you're going to want to find an instrument that you can get a better handle on, excuse the pun. So for me personally, if I'm recommending this to someone who's just starting out with this technique, I would choose the M2T-Blade handlebar once again, just for ease of use. So it takes a little bit longer to get proficient with the Graston technique one. That's just my opinion. Right out of the box, I had a hard time using this one, not because it's difficult to use, but I couldn't find, I found it very difficult to find the reverberation into the tool and find exactly where I should be working on a spot on this one. Now, I compare it to the M2T-Blade one. I wish I would have had this tool out of the gate because it's so simple to find adhesion and treat it with this. It feels so much easier. So there's two different angles to make it come to a point. I would describe it as a more aggressive edge. So that could be a pro and a con. A pro of it would be, yeah, it takes less treatment effort to get something done in tissue. A more aggressive treatment edge, meaning there you can do more with it. However, you got to be careful on who you're doing it for. These are two different tools for two different circumstances, in my opinion. You can get a lot done with the Graston, however, you can get a lot more done with this. So moving on to versatility, it kind of goes in with ease of use because with M2T, they're known to use a lot of treatment edges. They have another product called the M2T-Blade. So the M2T-Blade has it kind of goes in with ease of use because with M2T, they're known to use a lot of treatment edges. They have another product called the M2T-Blade. So the M2T-Blade has 8 different treatment edges. This one here, it kind of fits their mold a little bit. So they made this handlebar with the same idea in mind. They want versatility in an instrument. So if you're going to pay money for a tool, they want you to get the most out of the tool as possible. So we have this concave double bevel treatment edge. We have this convex one on the back end. It's a very dull rounded edge and it's a convex. So for this one, you use it for deeper tissue structures like the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the calves. You can do it on the lats, the shoulders, the upper traps. Certain large muscle groups, you can use this and you can use this. There's 2 different edges, so you can go a little bit deeper on this side. This one here, the double bevel, the convex, you're not going to get as deep. As well, on top of these 2 edges, you also have a prow on each side of the handle. So if you compare it to the Graston, they kind of look similar in shape, but because of the angle of the handle here, it provides another edge where this one's completely smoothed out and round and not intended for treatment. These edges here are actually designed for treatment. So a prow just means you can hook in deeper to a very specific location. A great example of where I use it is the AC joint up in the shoulder through the upper trap or to the supraspinatus, some of the rotator cuff up there. You can actually use that as well. So you have 2 of those as well to use. On top of that, you actually have a treatment edge on the handlebars. So on either side, there's a rounded dome shape, and it's very dull. So it's a nice rounded edge. And what I use this for is, again, the rotator cuff in the shoulder. So if I want to do some trigger point work or some muscle stripping and save my thumbs, I can actually use this instead of my thumb. So that saves my hands a little more. Whereas the Graston, it just has a blunt little edge. It's not very well smoothed out. It's quite kind of sharp, if you will. So there's a very big difference here. There's a lot more thought put into the M2T handlebar than the Graston, in my opinion. So to me, it's more of a more efficient, modernized version of the handlebar that provides a lot more value in the clinic. So for me, once again, this one wins for that. So overall, the clear winner here is the M2T handlebar to me. Price point wise, I haven't mentioned the price yet. So in order to get this tool, you're required to purchase all of their tools after having taken their course. Now, the total price Canadian is about $3,000, give or take. And if you go with the M2T-Blade handlebar, there's a big difference in price because this one's only $400, right? $400, that's Canadian. You can get one of these guys and a case. So that's amazing. For all the different kinds of angles and versatility, portability, weight, ease of use, this tool here, it completely blows Graston's handlebar out of the water for me. So for this tool here, it completely blows Graston's handlebar out of the water for me. So for me, if I'm going to use something in my practice, I'm going to be using the M2T-Blade handlebar. So using it, I've been playing around with it for a month, and I gotta say I'm not gonna use another handlebar unless a better one comes out, and I really doubt that. They really outdid themselves with this tool. Honestly, it's my favorite instrument in my arsenal right now. Now I own a Myobar set, I own the Graston Technique set, and I own a few other Amazon tools as well. Honestly, I've tried a lot of tools and I'm not easily impressed when it comes to instruments, but this one here, I decided to make a video on it because I was that impressed. So this is great. If you're a massage therapist, a physiotherapist, an osteopath, athletic therapist, you can actually take this course and be certified and get a certificate and earn CEU credits through your association or college. So yes, you can take the course and get trained in instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. So that's excellent. I personally took the M2T-Blade course a couple years ago before I took the Graston, and it was amazing. So I highly, highly recommend adding this technique to your practice.